You know, there are entire swaths of people who want to see this country fall. And I'm not talking about Muslim terrorists. I'm not talking about Mexican, Venezuelan, Colombian cartel members, narcos. I'm not talking about them and their sex slave trading of underage individuals. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the most pervasive, the most influential, and the closest to us in America. And that is white women. Now, I know there are a lot of white guys, especially in recent months because of recent things that have happened politically that have been propagandized to. They feel a certain closeness to their white identity, right? But I caution you niggas to get away from that and think rationally and logically about the situations. Because that adherence to white identity, exalting it above all else, or even it being in your top three, what happens when that white bitch that you married because she was a good white woman and she was Czechoslovakian or whatever the fuck, right? What happens when she cheats on you with a black nigga? What happened to that loyalty to your whiteness is so strong that you're gonna end yourself, right? You're gonna take the final solution to your problems, or you're gonna buck up and realize, ah, such is the situation, right? You shouldn't have loyalty to these things which are not loyal to you. So let me get off of that. The reason that I'm saying this is because, white women and all and the problems that they're causing in this country is because of this bitch right here. Renee Nicole Good, a Minneapolis Ice Watch warrior who trained to resist feds before being shot in the fucking face because she's a retard, right? So this article is by the New York Post. The reason I choose the New York Post is because for the life of me, I cannot withstand in my soul the leftist bend on a story. It bothers me so much because for my entire life I've been dealing with people who talk like that, who believe things like that. So why, when I'm presenting the news, when I'm reading the news, would I make myself suffer through those things? Instead, I'll let niggas like Steven Crowder do that. He can do that, not me. I'm not built for it. I like being surrounded by people who think like me. That's all. All right, here we go. Renee Nicole Good, the mom who was killed by a federal agent after veering her car towards him, was an anti-ICE warrior. It was part of a group of activists who worked to document and resist the federal immigration crackdown in Minnesota, the Post can reveal. Now, what they mean by document and resist, as you see, it's in quotations. What document and resist means is dox and interrupt, meaning dox these agents, give away their identities, putting themselves in danger, putting their families in danger, putting their lives in danger. Because as we know, leftists are creepy individuals and they do things like SWAT people. They do things like assassinate people for their ideas, for speaking. So obviously these niggas have to protect their identity by putting on a mask, by not having identifying, names on their vest. So what these niggas do, anti-ICE warriors, is dox these niggas and interrupt them from doing their investigations and making it harder for them to live lives. Doing their jobs, which is protecting the American people. Which ICE's job is 100% in the interest of the American people. It's not like regular municipality law enforcement officers. These niggas don't interact with the American public unless those Americans are facilitating crimes done by illegal immigrants. Otherwise, you're good. You'll probably never encounter an ICE officer in your life. You don't have to talk to them. But these people decide to put themselves in danger, decide to put themselves in the way of an investigation. This is what happens. Good, who moved to the city last year, linked up with the anti-ICE activist through her 6-year-old son's woke charter school, which boasts that it puts social justice first and prioritizes involving kids in political and social activism. Multiple local sources said, y'all can't leave the little niggas alone. And that is why it's important for you to pay if you are a parent, right? Don't just this isn't like back in the day. And even back in the day, y'all niggas just weren't paying attention. That's how we got to this point now. But you cannot just trust that the government, that these authoritative institutions, in this case, it's not even a public school, it's a charter school. You can't trust that private schools, charter schools, or public schools, or a babysitter is going to do right by your kid. Everybody has a political leaning, right? Pay attention to it, especially for your kids, because your kids will grow up and you're a Republican household, and your kids will grow up to be like the nigga who shot Charlie Kirk. I forgot his name already. Tyler, what is it? Tyler Robinson. Your kids will grow up to be like Tyler Robinson. Your kids will grow up to be like that trainee that shot up that school. It's not Uvalde. What's the other one? The Christian school. It'll be like that weird nigga who shot up that church in Houston. That cross dresser. Like, your kids will grow up to be like this if you don't pay attention to what is influencing them in their influential years. And that goes up until 18. It's crazy. Pay attention to your kids, bro, and make sure that they're raised up in the right way. You can't just be lackadaisical. You can't be lazy about where your kid is being educated. Let's continue the article. She was a warrior. She died doing what was right, which was doxing ICE agents, interrupting their investigation, and defending Somalis, which is the whole reason why these ICE agents, these law enforcement, these federal law enforcement officers are in Minneapolis, is because of the fraud that was exposed by Nick Shirley of these Somalis, of these fraudsters. So the right thing, she died defending these Somalis who, if they were in control of Minneapolis, if they were in control of Minnesota, they would, with 100% chance, kill Good and her wife. Why? Because they're gay, and Sharia law dictates that gay people should be killed. Yet they're defending them. The leftists are a death cult. they are chaos incarnate. They are demonic. There is no order. There is no reason. There is no logic to why they believe what they believe. It is just counter-revolution for the sake of counter-revolution. Because Christian bad, because what has been done is bad. What is established is bad, despite the fact that Muslims literally advocate for the killing of gays. Let's continue. A mother named Lisa, whose child attends the same school, told the Post at a growing visual word Good was killed Wednesday. Here we have, as you can see, oh yeah, I'm not picking up my mouse. I'm pointing to the nose ring here, as you can see. And this, okay. I know she was doing the right thing. I watched the video plenty of times, but I also know in my heart the woman she was. She was doing everything right, as I pointed out earlier, defending Muslims who, if they had the power, would kill her and her wife. Good and her wife, Rebecca, 40, were raising the boy together in the mostly working class, activist-heavy neighborhood of South Minneapolis, which features tree-lined streets, goddamn, and a large number of homes with windows decked out in LGBTQ, gay, flags or signs depicting George Floyd, of course. Just as many others did in the lefty enclave, Good sent her son to Southside Family Charter School, a K-5 academy opened in 72 that from its inception has been unabashedly dedicated to social justice education, according to the co-founder. It was through her involvement in the school community that Good became involved in ICE Watch, a loose coalition of activists dedicated to disrupting ICE raids in the sanctuary city. Which is insane, by the way, that there's a city which can flout federal law, which states that if you're here illegally, you have to fucking get out. But there are cities, large cities, that for some reason have had the ability, up until this point, obviously, Trump said, fuck all that. We getting them niggers out of here. Up until this point, have been able to protect criminals, protect drug pushers, protect pedophiles, protect rapists, protect slave traders. All in the name of what? I don't know exactly. Chaos is what I like to call it. Because I can't come up with a rational reason as to why any American, any person who has the ability or influence over a large quantity of people, like a mayor of a city or a commissioner of a county, to say, you know what? This is a safe haven for all you criminals to come here, where all these American people are. What do you think is going to happen? You think crime is going to skyrocket or no? And obviously, as we can tell, it has. But some of these cities have changed the way in which they quantify what is crime. So it just really think about how crazy that shit is. And we have images of the incident happening. From my understanding, she was involved in social justice. We are a tight-knit community and a lot of parents are activists. Former Southside gym teacher Rashad Rich, nigger, I don't know, I'm just guessing, who resigned from the school last month, told the Post. He said current event topics like the killing of George Floyd. Current event topics. Hold on a second. What current event? Hold on a second. George Floyd. That was 5 years. That was 5 years ago. Current events. What are we talking about? That's not a yo. These niggas really be holding on to shit. That's not a current event, bro. Can we stop it? He said current event topics like the killing of George Floyd were regular parts of the curriculum of these children. By the way, they're not learning a regular part, meaning this is taking space where something else like American history, arithmetic, vocabulary, reading, science, biology, that type of thing. Those things, that the teaching of George Floyd is taking up a significant portion of these children's curriculum in this elementary school. These little niggas are cooked. It sucks for them now, right? But when they grow older, fuck it, I'm gonna have to fight them niggas. Like, fuck is we talking about? I feel sad for them now, but if they don't grow out of that shit, guess what? We enemies at that point. I can feel sympathy for you now, but when you become an adult and that is your ideology, sucks for you, my nigga. In that last month, students took a field trip where they learned about Aboriginal issues, a reference to the indigenous people of faraway Australia. It's fucking why. Coalitions similar to Ice Watch have cropped up all over the country, with activists using phone apps, whistles, and car horns to warn neighborhoods when ICE shows up, so they can hide their slaves in the basement and hide their drugs under the toilet seat before ICE agents show up. Very good for you. Shout out to white women. Ice Watch and adjacent groups can also turn confrontational, obviously, with numerous instances of activists ramming agents with their cars in the past, also blocking roads and being general disruptants, a disruptor. Renee Good was trained against these ICE agents, what to do, what not to do. It's a very thorough training, Lisa said. Obviously not, because she got shot. if she was trained what to do, she wouldn't have done this. But such is the plight of a warrior. Sometimes you die in the battle, right? To listen to commands, to know your rights, to whistle when you see an ICE agent, she added. The group started out as a very loose confederation, whatever. We have a Twin City Ungovernables, which is another group. Ice Watch recently shared an Instagram post of the groups that encourage agitators to bring items that would help them barricade the streets around where the shooting took place, even urging people to bring things to burn, such as dried up Christmas trees. Pretty sure arson is illegal. You can't just burn things in public. That's a crime. This call for aggressive and even violent resistance comes as ICE agents have faced an unprecedented spike in car attacks, surging by some 3,200% over the last year. Shocking data released by the Department of Homeland Security revealed to the Post. Federal agents said violent radical rhetoric from sanctuary politicians is to blame for vehicular attacks against ICE agents, skyrocketing between the 21st of last year in January and the 7th of this year, January 2026, of 66 attacks, compared to 2 from the year before. 66 compared to 2. Y'all niggas is crazy. This article is long. It continues as we see crazy niggas doing shit that they ought not to. We got okay. What does it say? Let's see. Rebecca, who was confronting ICE agents outside the SUV at the time of the shooting, was filmed sobbing, "It's my fault," after the shots rang out and she realized Renee had been struck. "I made her come down here. It's my fault," she said, her face covered in blood after rushing to her partner's aid. "They shot in her head. I have a 6-year-old in school," she said. If you were truly good mothers, if you were truly good people, and you cared about the life of this child that you were raising, why would you put yourself in a position that you 100, like, there is zero, there is like no reason for you as an American citizen, I'm assuming law-abiding, morally corrupt, but law-abiding, to be interacting with ICE officers. So instead, now, you got this bitch killed, and now this kid doesn't have a mom. All because you decided to defend Muslims who, if they were in power, would kill you. Really think of these they're defending people who would kill them because they're gay. So here we got some Twitter posts that we have here. Make sure my sound is working. There we go. This is the confrontation, right? This is the confrontation with Renee and Lisa, I believe her name was, as they're interacting with these ICE officers where they did not need to be. As you can see, talking shit. The ICE officer's recording her car.
It's okay, we don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you
This is the
come talk to
dike.
us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking citizen. You wanna come at us?
She talking
You
shit.
wanna come at us?
Look at her.
I say go get yourself some
She's as a warrior, right? They're warriors. These two hoes is warriors, right? Look at her. These two hoes is warriors. They're taunting the law enforcement officers. Fine. You're a warrior. You can do that shit, right? But understand the consequences of your actions. Understand the consequences of your action. When you're a warrior, guess what happens to warriors sometimes? Sometimes they don't come back home. But the crazy part, as I stated earlier about this, is these hoes did not need to be here. They could have been at home doing gay shit, watching Stranger Things season 5. They could have been at home chilling, cuddling, waiting for the small child to get out of school so they can live a long life and not be in this. They could have lived a long life together and not have been in this situation. But instead, they got caught up in political fervor by people who are smarter than them, who use them as pawns so that people can riot when shit like this happens and destroy cities. So they can attempt to have something to feed the propaganda machine from their political leanings. Let's continue. Look, he's giving her lawful commands, by the way. Let's see how many times he tells her to get out of the vehicle.
You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4. Tries to run over the officer, gets shot. This law enforcement officer gave her 4 commands. 4 lawful commands. He wasn't crazy. He wasn't aggressive. He gave her 4 lawful commands, which we can clearly hear because we're picking it up on the other side of the vehicle, right? She can clearly hear this. Get out of the car 4 times. But instead, what she does is puts her life at risk. Obviously, shout out to the warrior spirit in her. And positions her vehicle in a way where it would have run over this law enforcement officer. 4 lawful commands, yet she refuses to listen. Yet I'm supposed to feel sad for these people. I'm supposed to logically somehow wrap my head around she wasn't at fault for her own demise. I'm supposed to care about this, and also from a emotional position. I'm supposed to care about something that happens to a person who would advocate for Muslims, who are defending Muslims, who would kill them, by the way. Let alone, they would kill me, kill them for being gay. They celebrate abortions. They celebrate the genital mutilation of children. They defend people who bring sex slaves over here into this country, who bring underage sex slaves into this country, who bring drugs into this country, which our young population gets a hold of. Yet I'm supposed to be like these people advocate for killing babies. 4 lawful commands to get out of her vehicle. She refuses to listen and decides to take the warrior's path. Well, down the warrior path is what? The end.
Go ahead. Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Shots. Calls her a bitch. She crashes. Such is the case. So, you tell me, my nigga. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong for saying what I'm saying? Now, of course, niggers. This is so crazy. Why are niggas are defending a white woman who was where she shouldn't have been, who attempted to run over a law enforcement officer when she was giving 4 lawful commands to get out of a car. She was doing that while she was defending Somali Muslims who are defrauding the Minneapolis public, the Minneapolis citizens, taking their money, taking their taxpayer dollars away from them to enrich themselves who, if they were to have power, would kill the gay ladies, and they also don't like niggers either. They don't like us. They hate black Somalis, don't like black people. African Muslims in general, but African Muslims don't like black Americans. Why are we defending these people who are not supposed to be here? And they're defrauding the American public. And we're defending that shit? Black Lives Matter is a scam. It is a organization of monkeys. The lowest of IQ monkeys.
This family should not wait for justice. And remember, we fought for Jamar Clark. We occupied a precinct for Jamar Clark. We did not get justice for Jamar Clark. But when the city burned, after George Floyd, all of a sudden there were some charges. So for those who are on the media talking about, don't burn it down, don't set it on fire, let me.
Why does she? Oh my God, I hate black niggas, bro. Why does she have to nigger it up? You know exactly what I'm referring to. Why did she have to speak like that? Legit, why did she have to speak that way? Also, an observation. Among the left, and even in the right for some reason, but especially amongst the left, the entire movement is led by women. So, the Ice Watch warrior lady, Renee, and her wife, women, obviously, white women. Black Lives Matter, the organization itself, founded by 3 black lesbians. This Minneapolis chapter, an old black woman. This nigga who was probably raised by a single mother, I'm assuming. And then this lady.
Tell you this, we need justice and we need it now. Yeah. Because what happens after that is on your pants. All power to the people. This family.
Gosh, I hate niggas so much. I hate these niggas. Why are you defending this white woman who didn't have to be there? Who put herself in harm's way? Who refused 4 lawful orders to get out of a car as she's defending Somalis, Somali Muslims, I might add, who, if they had power, would kill her and her wife, and also don't like you because you're black, who don't like niggas. God, here we have another video. The leftist woman says she feels wrong for paying her respects to Renee because she's a white woman who's privileged. Now, you feel whatever. I don't really care about Renee. A white woman who's privileged, that is the crux of the problems that we're dealing with politically in this nation. White women who have everything, who are comfortable, who have no struggles really. And that's most Americans. But white women have more money per capita than black women. White families have more money per capita. So, but it's white women in particular we're talking about here. They're comfortable. So they have to create problems for themselves. So they have to defend people who would literally kill them if they had power. But such is the case for the white savior. Let's watch this.
So, I mean, I'm just walking around kind of just dayside because I was like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. It feels kind of wrong being here in some way. I don't know why.
Why?
Why is she crying, bro? Shut the fuck up, bitch. Why is she crying?
Why do you think? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, like, where that stems from. Like, I mean, part of it is being like a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege. So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this for a long time.
The ICE agents are there to stop Somalis from defrauding you, you idiot. What are you talking about? First of all, Somalis are not black and brown people. They're mud people, okay? They're from Africa. They're mud people. Let's stop that. These ICE agents are here to stop these niggers from defrauding you. I'm assuming you're a taxpayer. What are you talking about? White women are the bane on the security of a nation. Women in general, but white women in this case because they're so politically active. And they're a larger demographic than black women. Because trust me, if we had just as many black women as white women, nigga, America gone, nigga. America's done. We gonna be like Somalia, nigga. We would be in a perpetual state of like an African nation, just communist dictator after communist dictator after communist dictator. If bitches had, if there were equal amounts of white women and black women, nigga, we would be in a perpetual state of instability, nigga. We would be Brazil. Like America will be a third world country. We would be Brazil. Just really think about that.
This isn't new for them, and so I don't know if that makes any sense in that way.
How did you decide that you should be here? Or are you still figuring that out?
Well, I work like 2 miles from here, so driving by, I don't, it was like I'm here. I'm 2 miles. I can stop. So I
All right, fucking idiot bent. Oh my goodness! And here we have some riots. Obviously, these niggas can't let a good fucking tragedy or, martyrdom, because she's a warrior, right? She was a warrior. What are you crying for? She died a warrior's death. They can't let a good tragedy go to waste, right? So we have some terrorists in Minneapolis going between hotels, and as I stated earlier, when they said they were there to document and resist ICE agents, they're there to dox them. That's what these people are doing. They're doxing these ICE agents. Let's watch the video. Disrupting the legitimate businesses, by the way. These niggas are disrupting businesses. Like, what if there were just families there? Niggas there for the New Year's, they were visiting their family over Christmas to start to stay a little bit. Fucking workers on a layover because they're in between jobs across the country. Families on vacation because they want to go ski or some shit, right? Yet these libs, these terrorists, are there disrupting the peace of these niggas who have paid a lot of money, because I guarantee you hotels are not cheap in Minneapolis. They paid a lot of money to chill out, get that complimentary breakfast in the morning, snuggle in the sheets in that cold weather, right? But instead, because you decided to go to Minneapolis on this day, because some Muslims were defrauding the American populace, and liberals said, no, we love our Somalis. We love our Muslims. Ooh, they're so good. Because they decided that, right? Now your peace is gone, nigga. Really think about these niggas are disruptors. And they're doing this to scare these niggas. They're doing this to scare these ICE agents, to attempt to stop them. All it does, I hope, is make them niggas pursue their mission even harder. Get more Muslims out of this country. Get more fucking mud Somalis out of this country. Go back to Mogadishu, my nigga. Fuck out of here. No justice, no peace. The justice is that ICE is there to get Somalis who are defrauding the Minneapolis citizenry, who are defrauding the Minnesota citizens of their taxpayer dollars. The justice is getting them out of there. That's the justice. And the peace comes when there's less crime in these areas, because I know that the crime is higher because of these Somalis. We've seen the citizen interviews. These niggas, especially those who are not afraid, and those who are not white women, they don't like these Somalis in their city. They cause problems. They don't know how to drive. Their IQ is too low. They're too inbred to know how to act civilly in an American way. Here we have the last video. We had the Seattle mayor. Why is this bitch talking about it? The Seattle mayor has officially declared war on ICE agents.
Valley Cemetery. I am furious at the federal government's abuse.
Again, I say, why the fuck are there so many women? Where the niggas at? Fuck. Where the niggas at? Even in my city, we have we had 2 female mayors back to back. Now, granted, It is a right-leaning city, so we're a little bit safe. But where the niggas at? Fuck, dude.
Use of power. It is unacceptable to kidnap people who are simply going about their lives.
You're not kidnapping these people. You're not kidnapping these people. You're deporting illegal people who aren't supposed to be here. And these people who are here, who you're claiming are being kidnapped, are actually kidnapping little kids from Mexico and Venezuela and Texas and Arizona and Oklahoma and California. They're kidnapping little kids from these areas. Sometimes American, sometimes not. And they're forcing them into sex slavery. What the fuck are you talking about, nigga? The people who you are trying to protect are actually kidnapping people and selling them into slavery. Man, this fuck.
There is no place for this in Seattle. This latest abuse comes on the heels of the murder of Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis by federal agents. Renee was a poet, a caring neighbor, and a mother. Someone with a family whose community is now grieving unimaginable.
She obviously didn't value motherhood so much. She put herself in the way of an investigation that she didn't belong to because she was a warrior. And such is the life of a warrior. Sometimes it comes at the end of warfare, which is what she was engaging in when she didn't have to.
Loss. These are not abstractions. These are real people, real families, and real harm. I know many people in our community are frightened and outraged about the way ICE and other federal enforcement agencies are being deliberately deployed across the country to intimidate and harm our communities.
They're being deliberately deployed in order to rein in people who are not supposed to be here. If intimidation comes with that, good, so that those people who are not supposed to be here, give themselves up or run away, and in the instance of running away, they get caught because now they're a moving target and we can see them.
I am heartbroken and outraged too. This moment demands action. Here's what we're doing. Seattle is a welcoming city. We already have laws in place that forbid our local police from aiding ICE in most instances. The police.
You know what this bitch looks like? Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings? She looked like Gollum, bro. Like, look at her forehead. What are we doing?
Police will adhere to these laws. That's an important step. But it's also true that we have limited authority with regard to the actions of federal agencies. And I know that our existing laws are not enough to keep people safe. So I'm working with Police Chief Barnes, City Attorney Evans, immigrant rights groups, and local leaders to identify every possible legal argument, public resource, and creative tool we can use to keep the people of Seattle safe.
By people of Seattle, she means illegal aliens. Because ICE, they really have, their jurisdiction is not primarily United States citizens. And again, I state, unless they're aiding people who aren't supposed to be here. So while she's saying she's doing this to protect the Seattle public or the Seattle citizens, she's not talking about Americans. She's talking about people who are committing crimes who are not supposed to be here. She's going to exhaust every legal avenue that she can in order to prevent her city from being rid of people who aren't supposed to be here. I have a question for you, niggas. Very serious question. Would you still crack? I'm asking, would you still crack? Write it in. I'm asking you. It's a legit question. Would you still go? Just asking.
This will take all of us. I urge you to sign up for the Washington for All ICE mobilization alerts. And don't stop there. I encourage you to raise your voices and demand that every elected official does what they can to actually protect the people who make our neighborhoods home. This is a scary situation.
Muslims?
And situations like this are when we show ourselves who we are and what we believe. Here in Seattle, we practice solidarity. Everyone should be safe in their homes, in their workplaces, and in their city. My message to our immigrant neighbors: this is your city. You should be safe here, and I'm determined to make it that way.
All right. It's actually sad to see people who are advocating for the destruction of their own nations, who are advocating for the who are advocating for people to stay here who, if they had the ability to, would kill them who don't want them here. They're advocating for this nigga, right? Does this nigga look like somebody you want in your neighborhood? Some nigga, why is he doing that? Somebody you want in your country. Is that what this nigga look like to you, huh? You want this in your neighborhood, big bro. That's what you want? This nigga. I hope you niggas are rational in your thinking, logical in your conclusion, in coming to your conclusions, and do not allow the emotional fervor to wrap you up into believing that we should defend Somalis who aren't supposed to be here, or even that are supposed to be here because they're not Americans. They're fucking Muslims. They don't have a Western perspective of how we should exist culturally. They want to instill Sharia law. This bitch Renee was defending people who, if they had power, would kill her because she's gay. Those black people in this clip, where is it at? Those black people in this clip were defending a white woman who was defending Somali Muslims who, if they had power, would kill her because they're gay and don't like you because you're black. They don't like black people. Like, look at all these crazy people, all these crazy videos I showed y'all niggas. Yeah, man. Shout out to ICE. Get all the mud niggas out of here.
Systems, the company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot belly goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.